The biggest seizure in history, $72 million in Bitcoin stolen, now worth more than $4 billion, and the masterminds have finally been arrested. So who are they? Picture a criminal mastermind, someone capable of stealing millions of dollars and evading arrest for years. Maybe someone a little bit like this. Well, allow me to present the hackers, Heather Morgan and her husband, Ilya Lichtenstein. So who are these people, and how are they capable of one of the largest heists in history?
Living on the coast that's east, don't got bad G's, but I got not news.
Well, Ilya, who goes by the nickname Dutch, is a tech entrepreneur and founder of a company called Mixrank, which Mark Cuban coincidentally invested in. So he's always a part of everything, I swear. And Heather Morgan, also known as Razzlekhan, has several jobs.
A rapper, an economist, a journalist, a writer, a CEO, and a dirty.
Again, I found myself asking, how are these people capable of $1 billion heist? This is not who you would ever expect. But I couldn't just write them off like most people have as a couple of goofballs who somehow lucked their way into billions of dollars. I mean, they hacked the crypto exchange Bitfinex, you know, that company who outright lied about their ties to Tether until the pesky Panama Papers leak of 2016, the company who was dropped by every legitimate bank, and the company who mysteriously lost $850 million to a shadow bank named Crypto Capital Corp. Those guys. I needed to find out more, and the more I looked, the more I caught glimpses of legitimate skill and intelligence hidden behind, well, this. I mean, there has to be a reason prosecutors describe the couple as extraordinarily sophisticated cyber criminals and money launderers. These people stole nearly 120,000 Bitcoin, back when Bitcoin was only $500, meaning their loot has now increased in value by more than 80 times. Also, quick mention, if you're interested in increasing your personal loot, look no further than my Patreon, linked in the description below. There you'll get notifications whenever I buy or sell investments, buys that have landed me up more than 100% in the last year. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on future buys, free coaching every single day, research reports, and so much more, just make sure you grab a spot. There's a reason we have more than 11,000 happy members. Again, that's linked down in the description. Now, Heather, she grew up in a small town in Northern California. Growing up, she had it a bit rough. She was bullied relentlessly for a speech impediment and teeth so crooked, she says she's likely a case study in medical textbooks. This created insecurities that she would later attempt to embrace and even flaunt.
I've always been awkward as f***. Like, there's no way anyone can try to shame or bully me there.
She later graduated with honors from the University of California at Davis before working for World Bank as an economist in Egypt. Her economics professor described her as very motivated, very bright, and very ambitious. Heather actually co-wrote a chapter of a book with that same professor on food security and stability in the Middle East and Africa. A complete alter ego from this.
Poison you with the frog, dark shit on you like a fart.
After some frustrations with work, she decided it was time for a change.
I used to be an economist. If you really want to work in tech, there are a million startups out there that would let you intern or take you to do some low-level job. You might have to take a pay cut initially. I did.
Eventually, after working at a startup, Heather started her own email marketing business called SalesFolk, registered in 2014, a company she claims does quite well.
I'm a serial software entrepreneur who started multiple successful companies. One is a multi-million-dollar profitable one.
This company has a YouTube channel dedicated to marketing, networking, and the occasional comedy roast.
Hi, blank. As a leader in marketing, I like to connect with you to share ideas. Oh, God.
The sheer amount of content she produced is staggering, and it doesn't stop here, because between 2017 and 2021, she was actually a writer for Forbes covering a wide range of topics. You could read her article on how to protect your company from cyber criminals, where she interviews the chief compliance officer of Bitflyer, the largest crypto exchange in Japan, on how to keep their exchange safe. Seriously, you can't make this up. Or you could learn about how she went through a series of issues in her business and personal life, causing anxiety and stress that would then later be cured in a very, very peculiar way. Despite having, quote, no musical ability, Heather wrote her first song in 30 minutes and became a rapper.
This song is for the entrepreneurs and hackers, all the misfits and smart slackers.
Razzlekhan, the persona that is this completely confident creative who is ashamed of absolutely nothing. The person Heather Morgan wishes she could be. Again, Heather's writings tell us everything we need to know. She wrote extensively about how singer Ash Nico uses an alter ego to blow up personality traits and fight imposter syndrome. Where Heather Morgan likes economics, her cat, and email marketing, Razzlekhan has other interests.
Run the like a moose winkle.
Ain't a vegan. Crazier than you heard. Sure do love Tuesdays. Barney Pikachu. Gonna you too. Eat so nutritious. Never had no osteoporosis.
Those are words, yes.
So how did Razzlekhan and Dutch do it? How did they make out with one of the largest heists in history? If you scroll through Twitter, you'll find many people skeptical of their ability to pull this off. I have to say, I'm not that skeptical. First, we cannot let this crazy Razzlekhan persona, music ability, or awkwardness sway us from the fact that she's a sophisticated cyber criminal according to the Department of Justice. Get this, in 2019, she gave a presentation to people about how to socially engineer people.
Everyone worries too much about what's proper, but not Raz, no shame, that don't stop her.
See, the perfect social engineer is someone who has both interpersonal and technological skills. The largest vulnerability in a corporation is not the systems or programs, it's the people. Social engineering attacks are complex but rely on gathering or spear phishing for information from companies to use against them, gain access to payroll, or in this case, outright steal Bitcoin. She was definitely close with the hacker and possibly hammock community, and the most effective social engineers in the world tend to be women. So throw out your misconception of a hacker just being some Russian guy hunched over a computer typing away, because that would actually just be her boyfriend. It's the combination of the couple's unique skills that allowed this to be possible. The boyfriend describes himself as, quote, a tech entrepreneur and occasional magician. This is far from the only hints into what this couple might be up to. They just couldn't resist a little bit of bragging.
The catfishing queen. My track's always clean. Social engineer. Meet me at the pier. Black market baby. Not a wannabe.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, hodl.
So they stole the money, sat on it for years, and hinted about it. But they had a major issue: actually spending the Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin transactions are public and the movement of funds are generally trackable, especially billions of dollars worth. Since the hack in 2016, the crypto community kept their eyes on the stolen cryptos movement.
Razzle dazzle.
The couple attempt to use a method called peeling, where they would continuously move Bitcoin, peeling off some each step of the way. Now, unfortunately for them, a company called Elliptic tracked them the entire time. Now, this isn't to say that they were unsuccessful, though. There are reports of the couple purchasing gift cards from Walmart, Uber, Hotels.com, and PlayStation in an attempt to launder the money. But this kind of report makes it sound like they made off with just like a couple $100. That is not the case. As of May 2021, at least 4% of the Bitcoin was successfully laundered. That's a present value of over $200 million. So even though they couldn't spend the entire $4 to $5 billion, this was one of the most successful heists in history. Until, of course, they got caught. When prosecutors searched the couple's apartment, they found more than enough to be certain that these are, in fact, the masterminds they were looking for. They found bags full of cell phones and SIM cards, hollowed out books, space pimp pants, and mini files on their computer that included variations of the word dirty in the file names, like dirty_wallet. The couple apparently already prepped an escape plan, purchasing fake Ukrainian passports off the dark web and buying about $200,000 worth of gold, which has yet to be found. The sloppiness at the end of the line here makes you wonder if there was some kind of hidden regret or desire to be caught.
To all those sleazebags out there, you may have gotten away with so far, but your days are gonna be numbered. One of these days, you're gonna slip up and life will...
Razzlekhan and Dutch are now awaiting trial and facing decades in prison. Dutch was denied bail and Razzlekhan was released on a $3 million bond and house arrest at her parents' home. I just can't help but think that this couple has resources hidden away somewhere. They laundered over $200 million and only $40,000 was found at their home. Where's the rest?
Turkish Martha Stewart. Keep gun up in her skirt.